everybody, it's Graham Bell, and yes, I'm in my car, and yes, I'm struggling for time this week, hence I'm in the car. I got my first vaccine this week, the AstraZeneca, and it was horrific. About 12 hours after I got it, I lost power in my arms and my legs, and I was whimpering like a puppy taken away from his mother. It was horrific, honestly. It was terrible. I know some people have had no reaction, but oh my god, it was horrific, honestly. So yep, spent a day in my bed feeling sorry for myself, and hence why I've not shaved. But I'm on dropping the children at Cubs tonight, so I thought, yes, I'm just going to give you a bit of my wisdom from the car, but always I'll get something up my sleeve. So if you are struggling with your golf, like many of you are, if you've never been able to get to, say, a single figure handicap, you will do one of two things badly. You will either hit behind the ball or you'll strike it off-centred. Now, here's Gary Smith. Gary is a lovely guy, played a lot of ice hockey as a kid and still does, to be honest, but struggled with launch and getting his irons to go anywhere. He has a fear of par threes because he's not hitting the ball out the middle of the club face. Let's take a little look at how we helped Gary. Ladies and gentlemen, and other nondescript people out there, this is Gary Smith.
I've not put any product in
my hair. It's not as bad as mine, Gary. You're fine. Gary's down here for a lesson. Gary, what do you struggle with? What do you do?
Hitting off the toe.
Off the toe, and the ball goes flat and nowhere, doesn't it, Gary?
Correct.
How are we going to change that? We're going to change your focus, aren't we, Gary?
Correct.
Correct. You look dead nervous, Gary. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. So, what Gary has been doing is he's been bringing the club down and pulling it where the white tee is. We're going to take this white tee away and say to Gary, Gary, before the rain comes on, hit the pink tee with the ball. And what does Gary do? Gary misses the tee, but let's have a look at the club and let's see. So you see the strike coming through. Gary was hitting, you probably see in the camera, he was actually hitting off the grooves. So Gary, that is a very easy way to practice, is it not, Gary?
Correct, yeah.
Correct. Gary played ice hockey. Do you still play it?
Yes.
He looks dangerous, doesn't he? But he's going to be even more dangerous on the golf course because he'll be hitting it more out the middle of the club. Thank you, Gary. So, here's the science bit about Gary's little problem. Now, Gary was hitting the ball in the nose of the club. On an iron, that's not a great place to hit. His ball was launching low, spinning low, it just wasn't going very far. And when he came to par threes, he just didn't have the confidence. Now, why was he doing it? Well, he was pulling the club towards him, and that hit it out the nose. Now, to try and make that easier, what he did was, he was starting to put the club away out here. But that only encouraged him to pull the club more, and he would hit the toe again. So what we got him to do was to try and aim up a bit more centrally, okay? And then he was feeling as if the club came out. But in reality it wasn't. It was just staying where it should have stayed. He hit the ball out the middle, gained 20 yards through the air without buying a new set of golf clubs, just from improving his strike. Sometimes golf is as simple as that. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to know what's good and what's bad. Hitting out the nose on an iron is bad. So is the heel. Hit in the middle, hey diddle diddle, and your golf will be over the moon. Now, what we're going to do is, from the shop, we've got wonderful stock. We've bought in lots of stock because everywhere's running out, as I did say to you at the start. Now, we are going to run a promotion when this goes out to next week, till the next newsletter goes out. If you buy a pair of Skechers in the week of this newsletter to the next newsletter, you're going to get a dozen tailor-made balls free. How exciting is that? Yes, buy a pair of Skechers, get a dozen free tailor-made balls. That is an amazing deal. We've still got our deal running with Under Armour with their shoes. Easy for me to say, 3 free pairs of socks with this Under Armour shoe that we're doing on special. So, loads of bargains to behold. Loads of bargains. So thank you for watching this very short newsletter. My name's been Graham Bell, and I'm in my car, and my neighbours are pulling up, and they'll think I'm weird talking to somebody. Bye-bye!